Hey guys, Tom by 601, and happy Friday, the last day of the campaign. You know what that means? It's time for our update review where we go back, look at all of what this update had to offer, and kind of give it a letter grade because, well, it's fun to be able to look back and see what we felt about certain updates at the time. So, welcome to the first one of 2023, the February update, if you will. First things first, we had our wonderful Lunar New Year content. That's right. Nothing particularly new here. We had the Northern Dragon ship, which I found was a little lacking because it's an Akizuki that doesn't get improved pen, but it gets Deepwater Torps. A bit interesting of a choice as far as a premium goes. I don't think it really added anything. But what did get added, the Pan Asian cruiser line, a fun but difficult cruiser line to play. One that I'm glad they did add. It is fun to play. Like that is the big thing. It provides a different play style, and it certainly does that. If you don't remember, if you haven't been able to experience it, what will be available for what I assume to be researchable this next update, as everything that is in early access is, you get basically Atlanta-style ships from all across the builders, from U.S. to U.K. to Russian-made boats across the entire line, generally small caliber guns, kind of destroyer-sized ones. You get deep-water torps that are fairly long range, and the ships tend to be pretty stealthy. They tend to have a smoke generator, and in the upper tiers, they get a torpedo reload booster. So all in all, I think that line is probably my highlight of this update, which is a bit weird. But hey, a free-to-play line, I'm more than happy to see a new one added into the game. After that, let's talk campaign ship and the Pommern. God. I was to get this footage, because I usually use the campaign ship for the footage for these update reviews. I was reminded how much I don't like the Pommern. Just what you give up in order to get what the Pommern gives, it just ain't there, man. The torpedo tubes, they are far too vulnerable. That's supposed to be one of the big selling points. And if there's any sort of decent HE spam in the game, you find yourself lacking torpedo tubes by the time you're able to push in and use them, mid to late game, which is just unfortunate, really. After that, we got that's Pommern. I'm Pommern, not a great campaign ship. It will be unfavorited in the back of my port, and maybe if they decide to buff it, then it will come out and play. But until then, I look forward to never touching this ship, pretty much ever again. After that, we got Azur Lane Wave 4. 5 new commanders: New Jersey, Neptune, Rune, Chapayev, and St. Louis. Of those, I think the only one that is consequential ended up being Azur Lane, New Jersey, the commander, which, you can talk whether it's a good thing that they introduced a pay commander that is better than a premium. I do think they did a fairly decent job of balancing between Sims and her. I've gone ahead and started using New Jersey just because I think there's a more fun layer to be had for going for Citadels, and then if you use Arthas on top of that, also using your planes in order to boost your damage. I think there's a fun extra layer of gameplay there, but Sims does just as well, and I think technically could be more accurate. Additionally, with all of the Azur Lane nonsense, St. Louis was there. That was fun. But we got 2 premium versions of ships. Azur Lane, New Jersey, which was just designed to take money out of people's pockets. If we're being honest, it's slightly more accurate for, the cost of a AAA game. If you bought it, that's on you. It would not be something I would spend my money on. The other one was Azur Lane Chapayev, which I felt is kind of pay to winny, just because you get EOP. Basically, it's a Chapayev, but EOP is automatically on the ship already, which is a bit weird. But that's kind of the gameplay style you would end up going for with that boat. So it was interesting because it gives you more flexibility. It is just I would almost say a better Chapayev, but there we go. After that, a boat that you probably didn't use, or you didn't probably play, but you may have come up against it. Napoli was added to the Bureau Project. Napoli, fantastic ship. She is quite fun to play. She adds something different at Legendary tier, and I think that's a theme you will hear from me. We need to add different variety to the game, or else I won't, it doesn't make me want to come back. So Napoli is a different play style. It is a fun ship. It's not Vittorio, or it's not the Venezia, which is what I think a lot of people wanted, but Napoli, big shout out to them, because Napoli was massive. Finally, the last thing that got added to this update was the epic mods, and I have good things and bad things to say. First off, good on the devs for trying something new. I think the epic mods are a great idea. I think we need more of them. I will say, though, limiting their acquisition to only one update really put the pressure on people to play this game. There was a big grind, and some of you really enjoyed the grind, some of you didn't really enjoy the grind. I'll be honest, it burnt me out of this game. This week, this content, you may notice there's some other games I'm playing, and I'm showing on the channel. That's because this grind burnt me out of this game, which is never good, right? It's something for people to do, and then you pair that with the fact that they did a ton of brawl and a ton of ranked seasons, where you wouldn't be able to progress those things. Like, there was a ton of hours of playtime available to you during a time of year that usually doesn't have a lot to do, but the games industry is coming hard right now, and there was a ton of fantastic things to play, and yeah, I'm of the opinion I got burnt out. Like, this week, I'm probably doing the bare minimum amount of World of Warships-ness. I earned my Pommern. I'm gonna go play Company Heroes, or Hogwarts Legacy, or Kerbal Space Program 2, or I finished Dead Space, but you get the idea. Oh, or the Metroid remake, because I'm a good decent chunk into that. Like, there are other games out there, and this grind burnt me. It burnt me bad, guys. But that's the reality of when you put a massive grind and you put it over only one update. You're gonna burn some of your player base out, and it turns out it burnt me out on this game. So that's everything that came out this update. As far as a letter grade goes, I'm gonna give this like a B. Like, yeah, it burnt me out, but you know what we've been complaining about? Content. You know what they gave us this update? Content. Like, it wasn't training rooms, it wasn't anything like that, but they gave us content. They gave us new commanders, which you had to pay for. But we got a new free commander in the form of the new line. We got the new line in early access, which will come to researchable access this next update. There was plenty of those crates available with the campaign or with the massive grind. Like, there's a very good chance you probably have some of those boats, even if you didn't put any money into the game. I think they did. I think this is a really good update. It burnt me out. Maybe there's too much, but is that a failing on my part, or is that a wargaming failing? I know you don't blame a 100-hour game for having 100 hours. Was there too much grind? Probably. And is there a balancing factor that needs to be looked at? Yeah, probably. But we complained about content. Wargaming delivered content. So good on them, if you will. That is everything, guys. What do you think? What letter grade would you give this update? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you like the video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. See ya.